artists need a lot of space, like inherently. Like we're messy and we we like to spread out. So I would just like to see more cooperative spaces where people can come together and create. And I think that Pittsburgh does have a lot of opportunity in that because there's a lot of open space, and you got to take it up. Common thread, linking back, but yeah. Okay. Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Okay, that's a hard question. Who are you? Still figuring it out every day. My name is Chloe Paris Simpson. I'm 23 years old. I'm from outside north of Baltimore, Maryland, and I've been in Pittsburgh for the past like 5-ish years. I just graduated from Pitt, but I would say I'm really interested in like people and stories, and also like building little worlds. So in my like people and stories practice, I would say that would be like my documentary filmmaking. It's when I was somewhere after my sophomore year in college. I got a grant at Pitt to do like a project I wanted to do, and so I could stay there over the summer and work on a project. And I decided to make a documentary. And I'd taken some film classes, but I never like done anything like that before, and like I had no idea what making a documentary would even entail. But I was just like, you know what? I'm curious about Pittsburgh music history. I like music. I'm like new here. I kind of want to figure out like what's going on. So I reached out to some people, found some contacts, and just went to wherever they were at and filmed interviews and everything. And then I took all that footage and like somehow compiled it into a cohesive film. I think the final film was like 40 some minutes. I think maybe that was 36 minutes. And that was really cool because I felt like it came so naturally to me, especially like the story editing process. Because I feel like in a documentary, it's like you don't really know what it's going to end up looking like, because throughout the time, like the whole time you're filming, you're like discovering all this new stuff. So it was really fun for me to like take all those interviews, like go through everything that they said, pull out like similar key points of things that people said that were in common, and then kind of like thread themes through that. And it was also chronological, so it went back to the 1930s. I talked to this guy who had done a bunch of oral histories about like jazz musicians in the 30s and everything. And then went kind of up until today, because I had some people I knew who were doing music, like younger people who are doing music today. So like house show venues and that kind of thing. And I called it "The Scene Will Never Die" because one thing I found out I really liked like during that process was like thinking about like social spaces and like community spaces, and how venues are places that really will bring people together. And looking at how like venues open, music venues, and then they close, and how it kind of like goes, I guess, in tandem with like what's going on in the world. Like there was the Decade, which was a rock and roll venue in Oakland, and that was open, I think, about like 20-ish years. I could be wrong, but it was a big place for people to go and listen to music and like drink and party and kind of celebrate, because it was like happening when the steel mills were like around. So those people like steel workers and stuff wanted a place to like go and have a good time and hang out. And then looking at how the population in Pittsburgh declined, and like the Decade eventually shut down, and like looking at like new spaces that open in the neighborhood, like because it's always it'll always happen, like no matter what. There will always be people who want to see music and like who want to experience art and stuff together. So even if it's in like a college student's basement or like their kitchen, it's even if there's not like a specific place for it to happen, like it will happen anyways. So that was a really cool thing to find out. And yeah, so I like to like highlight those types of stories. I've been thinking a lot about just like DIY recently, because like it's not the world is not built for people like us. Like it's just not built for people who are creative, and especially right now it's just really hard to like make a living doing creative work. So I really do believe that like just kind of doing it ourselves, like even if there isn't a financial like benefit, just like finding the time and like making it happen is just something that's so deeply important to me. Yeah, the art is that's really like something that like I just care about a lot. It's like a big part of me, and for my whole life it has been. Yeah, and then I also do. So going back to the question, I also do. And I'm gonna talk about take up space later. I'm sure that'll come up. I also do photography. I've been really into that. I was into it a lot in high school. I was doing a lot of portrait photography, just like of friends and like whoever kind of was down. And during college, like I was so busy with classes and everything, so I kind of just put it off to the side. And then like just after I graduated, I started getting back into it. And it's been really fun, just like because I really like work that's like very collaborative. I know I made my documentaries kind of like just alone, and that was just a really like uphill battle because then I had to worry about like the sound and the lighting and all about like myself, so I couldn't really focus on what I wanted to, which was the story. I mean, I could still focus on it, but it was just like, I'm taking risks because I'm like spreading myself too thin. So doing the photo shoots recently has been really great because it's just gotten me to work with like stylists and makeup artists, and I want to work more with like people that do lighting because that's always been a big struggle for me, and like people that do movement direction because I don't really know. I mean, I want to learn, but I don't really know how to do that yet. So it's just cool to see like what you can come up with so many minds together. And the reason I love the photography is because you can capture like what everyone else is doing in like in a unique and strong way. So yeah, I would say that's what I do for now. I also do just like visual art for fun. So like I'll just like paint, draw, clay, that kind of thing. I like just making like weird little like creatures, and that's like a big big favorite. Like just, I don't know, a way to spend the time. All right, moving on to the next one. Okay. You said you wanted to sit in the hot seat to be able to look back on this chapter decades from now. What feels important about this moment in your creative journey specifically? I don't know. I feel like it's really just getting started. I feel like I'm at the beginning of my creative journey, which will be like the rest of my life. And just, yeah, thinking about where I'm at now. Yeah, I mean, it is the beginning. So I feel like I'm kind of like that momentum is starting. And that's very exciting. And I don't know like where it's going to go. I feel like it will be really interesting to look back at this as like a preserved in time record of like who I am now, and I'll be able to just kind of see like where I started and how those interests flourished over time. And I'm just excited to like explore like what's next. I don't know. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, there's so much time. Like that's a thing I'm constantly telling myself, is that like I feel like I'm always trying to rush. Like I'm always trying to do everything now, and trying to be everything now. Like I feel like I want to like be who I am before I've gotten there. But I think I just am working now on like kind of just sitting back and like being patient and like just letting things kind of happen as they do, and just continuing to do my work as much as possible. But yeah. Okay. You've worked across many mediums: live events, directing, producing, photography, videography. So you see it all as telling one bigger story. What story are you trying to tell? That's a good question. I think very much like the title of my most recent documentary, Take Up Space. I feel like that is always the story I'm trying to tell, and it's kind of the thing that's most relevant to me in my life and like how I see the world. It's just like I feel like I spent so much of my life, I think a lot of people can relate to this, just especially women, just like trying to be small and like trying to take up as little space as possible. Because yeah, I don't know, it's just like a sense of like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like I'm just kind of like no one wants to be around me, that kind of thing. But now I'm really trying to like reclaim the space that I want to take up, and like have like strength in my vision, and know that and like just kind of like trust myself and trust that I know what's good and like what's best, and just like being as loud as possible, I guess, and like just building something so people like other like people like me know that they can also build something too. There's a lot of like very loud people in the world that are spreading very negative, hateful like rhetoric and messages, and I think that Joy, like my Instagram username and my kind of my, I guess my like artist name is Joy's Revolution. So I do truly like believe that. I really think that like love and joy and like whimsy and all those things and like dancing and then back to the music venues, I think are so innately human, and they'll never be crushed by the people that are trying to crush joy essentially. So yeah, I think like taking up space is a big part of that. Your work feels deeply tied to preservation, and you said all decay is the best time to fill in the cracks and build something new. Can you expand on that? What do you think Pittsburgh is becoming? I love this question. Pittsburgh has a lot of decay. There's a lot of abandoned buildings here. There's a lot of abandoned houses, abandoned warehouses, all sorts of spaces where it's just like overgrown and empty, or not quite empty. There's I don't know. I think buildings really hold memories, and I think Pittsburgh is a place where the population, like, I think it went down by like 40% in general, like slowly after the steel mills closed down, and now it's working on its like new, this new Pittsburgh, and it's brought a lot of people back to the area with like the different, like the medical, like the hospitals and the technology sector and everything. So it is, it's bringing people back, and I think the arts have a big role to play in that too. I think Pittsburgh is a really unique city. It's beautiful. It's one of the few cities that's like really green. Like there's just a lot of greenery here. There's a lot of, it's like kind of a like there's so many hills, so there's so many areas that you can't build on. So like all those trees are still there, and then there's all the steps like in between the neighborhoods that go up and down, like bridging like connections between neighborhoods, and I think that's a really beautiful place for that. And I think those abandoned buildings represent opportunity. I know that real estate is a tough subject. It's very controlled, dominated by like capital and the movements of money and everything. But I don't know. I would just love to see some change in that, where it's like more space for affordability, more space. Like artists need a lot of space, like inherently. Like we're messy, and we we like to spread out. So I would just like to see more cooperative spaces where people can come together and create. And I think that Pittsburgh does have a lot of opportunity in that, because there's a lot of like open space, and whatever gets you in there is we got to take it up. Common thread linking back, but yeah. Talk to me about your photography. What is your creative process like? Where do you draw your inspiration from? For photography, I would say when I'm working with like more constructed like people, and like even in a studio or even just outside. I don't know. I just move around a lot. I think it's fun just to kind of like integrate yourself with the space and kind of like move with the energy that's going on, and like the models or the anyone like who's kind of in the space, but just kind of like being on the same level as them, and like working and kind of intertwining yourself with them in some way. And yeah, just like trying a bunch of different stuff, and if it doesn't work, like try something else. I think is a cool thing to do, and just like a lot of it is instinct, just like being like, oh, this is a good spot. I should stay. Yeah, I should do some more here. Like, I think it would be cool if the model did this, and like that kind of thing. So it's a lot of experimentation. And and then like the more you do it, the better you'll get, which is fun. Yeah, I recently got a fisheye lens, so that's been fun because it's made things less flat and more like like dynamic. So I think that's very exciting to me. But yeah.
How would you describe your photography style?
I don't know. I'm trying not to like set into a specific. I do think I am kind of developing a style now. At this point, I really like vignette. I don't know why. Like, it's just something about, especially with the fisheye lens, like something about like darkening the outsides of the space really like focuses on the central image, and I'm just like having a lot of fun with vignette recently. And yeah, I'm trying not to get locked in so much. I want to just keep exploring and like seeing the possibilities with photography, because I think it is a really amazing medium, and it's so different than video. But I like that too. Like sometimes I just want that one single image and like what it can communicate. It's just, I mean, it is a visual art versus like a audio visual. Like with documentary editing, like I have a story in mind and I can tell it, and I can make a lot of choices along the way to tell it. And it's like more guiding the viewer, way more than photography, which is just like, you see it and that's what you get, and you either connect with it or not. But yeah, I like both of them, and it's fun to swap between them. You said you felt like you didn't fit in as a kid because you were creative. How did those experiences shape how you move through the world now? I felt a lot of, I don't know, I just felt weird. Like, I didn't like the things a lot of other kids like. I didn't like wear the same clothes that they did, or I didn't want to. I did wear the same clothes because I was trying to fit in, but I didn't want to. And I feel like I didn't understand why I felt like I was different. And I know a lot of people have this experience too, which is funny because you're like, oh my god, I'm the only one who's ever who's ever felt different, but that's so not true. Oh yeah, I went to all girls like Catholic high school, and that's definitely a very like everyone looks the same, everyone wears a uniform, so everyone dresses the same. And you feel like there's a way you're supposed to be, and if you don't fit that mold, then you feel like there's something wrong with you. So I have really had to like kind of reckon with that and be like, actually, like what has made me feel different is like my strength, and like that is where my power comes from, is like that I am really creative, and I have been ever since I was a kid. And yeah, I do feel like in a lot of ways the world tries to like put people in boxes and tries to squash people down into like stereotypes or like digestible kind of like, and even as we see in like a lot of our media and movies and everything, it's I mean I think it's getting better now. We're getting some cool like different narratives, but like a lot of it growing up was like, this is the jock and this is the popular girl, and like this is like who you are supposed to be, is fit into this box. So I've been like learning like, oh okay, so I'm not one thing, I'm many different things, and like every day that can change. So it's been cool to kind of like grow out of that and like just get out of like the whole like growing up, like middle school, high school, like it's a tough time for I think a lot of people, if you don't fit into that mold. So it's been nice to get out into the world and just see like the wide variety of people that are out there. And it's also I think made me more cautious. I feel like I've dealt with people who I'm not sure, like they have their own thing going on. I think that maybe they're like trying to like jealous or like trying to take away from my spark, because they see that I have that. So they try to kind of like be around me and like put me down and demean me and stuff. And like I didn't realize what was going on when I was younger that was happening to me. I just thought like, oh, this is what friendship is. But it's been interesting to have some space from that and from those types of people. We call them creative leeches, like people that are trying to take your energy because they're so insecure about what they don't have. So yeah, just trying to like to recognize the signs like the next time that happens and be like, okay, so this is not going to be a mutually beneficial relationship for me. And like yeah, so that's been a big part of the growth too. If your younger self was here with us right now, what would you say to her? If your future self was here right now, what would she tell you to stop holding back? Okay, I'll start with the first one. I saw there was an interview with Alyssa Liu, I think is her name, the ice skater in the Olympics, and she was asked this question, and I really liked her answer. So I'm gonna kind of steal it, but she said something along the lines of like I wouldn't tell her anything, like she would figure it out herself. And I like that a lot because it's like looking back at the past, and it's like you can't really, what happened, and you can't really like regret what happened, because it's like you had to go through all that to get to where you are now. So I really do like that answer. I think I would go with that one. Okay, if your future self was here right now, what would she tell you to stop holding back? Like everything. I don't know. I think I still am in that space where I am growing, and I am still like kind of getting over all of this insecurity that's been almost like pushed upon me in the past, and so I feel like there is stuff I am still holding back in like just in interactions with people and everything. Like I do catch myself like not saying what I want to say because I feel like it's it's just gonna it might be the wrong thing, or like I don't know. I feel like I'm still like kind of overthinking those like really small things that don't matter at all. So I think she would say just like keep going. You're you're doing great. Just like stop stop thinking so much. Like chill. What is the biggest lesson life is teaching you right now? And then what are you learning to love about yourself? Biggest lesson. I think it would like be patient and just kind of calm down. Like just calm down. Like there's time. You can do everything you want to do and more. So yeah, I mean that would be the answer to that one. Yeah. What are you learning to love about yourself? I think like just my creativity and like my connections with people and like my ability to see the world. And I feel like a big part of that is past and history and present and future, but big time on like the I don't know, like just thinking about everything that's happened kind of before me and realizing that nothing is new, everything is cyclical, it could be different, the way we interpret things now because of like just the material around us and like what we work with. But just knowing that there's like a long history, even in like my family, like there's generational. There's a lot of artists in my family too, so it's something that I'm passing on, and some of the like just a part of like a long line of creative people, and just yeah, just kind of like sitting with that and knowing that I don't know, I'm part of something way bigger, and like it doesn't also that I don't matter so much, so like it's nice to like kind of like be free and just like do like what I want to do and kind of focus on that more, just like doing what I want to do.
Do you feel like you found your people now and you feel like you fit in more?
Definitely more. I think I'm still trying to find more people too. Like there's so many people out there, and like I feel like I am getting the opportunity to find more of my people, which is really exciting and fun. Yeah, and I just want to keep doing that and like making it more consistent. Something I really want is like I feel like I don't really have, but I've had that in the past, is just this like a open space to go. And like there's people there that are cool and like I'll get along with, and it's just like if it's like a cafe or like whatever, I feel like people, I don't know why, like, but especially in Pittsburgh, like, they're so set in their like friend groups and they don't want to branch out or like meet new people. And I know there are like groups that are trying like events, like the one I went to, Studio Content Night with Create Art Together and Kathy Oliver brand. I just want to see more spaces like those. I think they're so important. There have been in the past, like there was the Beehive Coffee House, which I've done some research about, where it's just like you can meet anyone, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on, which I love. And I need spaces like that, like to come around more, because I feel like it's really easy to get just kind of like stuck, and you're like work, home, work, home, work, home, and it's like, yeah, the third spaces. It's you need more potential for interaction with like people of all walks of life too. So yeah, I'm just like trying to find those spaces, and when I do find them, it's very exciting. Um, yeah, one thing that gave that for me that isn't around right now and is Haven, which was a music venue in Oakland that was started by a few like good friends of mine. And it was in a former church building, and these are people that were throwing like house shows and stuff in the Oakland area. And this is largely like referenced in my film Take Up Space. But having that kind of creative community where we're all working towards a common goal is what I'm really looking for. And that was like one of the best times in my life. I consider all of those people like my family, like they mean so much to me. Um, and yeah, the venue's like shut down right now. Just they got to stop work order, so they're just trying to figure out like some of the, all the weird, complicated legal stuff. But yeah, that time, like, no matter what happens, I know that time will mean a lot to me. I did the interior design on the upstairs balcony area, so that was a lot of just like posting on Instagram. I mean, like, hey, does anyone have any like old tapestries or like pillows, like chairs, blankets, or whatever? And a lot of people like responded and like came together and did it. And also, like, we were all volunteers. I mean, the people running the venue, so not it's a kind of a tough business model once you gotta start paying bills, because a lot of us were in college at the time. But yeah, just like that was, I think, kind of a good thing for me to reflect back on as like a really powerful experience, and one that I want to be involved with more. Like right now, I'm trying to like I want to start painting sets on like theatrical productions. I want to get more involved. Just working with people towards a common goal, an artistic goal, is one of the most like freeing experiences of my life, and is something that I want to continue to chase, no matter what. Like I've done, working in like production, where I worked at the Draft, working with a company called Wallflower, event design, and I'm gonna be doing some work on like creating designing a little green room outdoor area for the performers at Pride in June. So that's gonna be really super exciting. But it's so fun to work with people towards like, hey, we're gonna make this space really special. And like, hey, what if we like put all our collective energies together to like make this a really good experience for people? And like that's why I also love the live like event production side of things too. In your film, Take Up Space, your closing line was, "Thank you for letting me take up space." How has it felt to take up space in the hot seat today? Biggest takeaways, any final thoughts? It feels good. I feel like I don't talk a lot about my work, and it's nice to have the opportunity to do that. Even though like I feel like I'm working through thoughts as I'm saying them. I'm someone who likes to like write stuff down like ahead of time and like really prepare. So it was new for me that this is all kind of like off the cuff. So I hope everything I said made sense, but like it is a lot of like just flowing and like connecting thoughts. But it's a good thing because it I feel like when I'm saying stuff out loud, I have to, things come up that are unexpected, which is fun, because it's like I feel like I'm such a very internal person. I'm always like thinking about stuff, but when I have to vocalize it, it's like, oh, I didn't realize like this, I felt this way. Like it's just something new for me. So it's all good to take up space in the hot seat today. Takeaways, I think. Just like that I should continue having confidence in my voice, and initiating and creating spaces for people, like you're doing now, which I think is awesome. Yeah, I just want to continue like doing that and creating those spaces where we do get to work towards a common artistic or creative goal. Yeah, really, yeah, hammering in on that like as my like one of my big takeaways that I kind of realized like during this conversation how important that is to me. Yeah. Any final thoughts? I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be a part of like a long line of like really amazing people who have sat in this chair, and like excited to see kind of who's next, and yeah, just like keep this momentum going.
Thank you, Chloe.
Yeah, of course.